Welcome to the Daily, where we just take a few minutes each day to focus on God's Word so that we can find and follow Jesus in every area of our life. Today's devotional comes from Joshua chapter 2, so let's go. I know you're wondering what happened to my voice. Well, I'm coaching basketball. It's basketball season. I love it. I'm coaching Levi's team and Noah's team, and two practices in one day was a little bit too much yelling for my voice, so I lost it a little bit. But it's coming back, so it'll be all right. Hopefully by Sunday, getting ready to preach. It's going to be a great Sunday. But I tell you, I was thinking about a few things the other day, and I was reminded as I read in this chapter, I was reminded of how I remember this time when I went to Springfield for a national conference, and it was a conference of top church leaders from across the nation were there, and I'm sitting down and I'm just talking, getting to know some people. And one question I like to ask is, what's your story? What's your background? Tell me a little bit about you. And time after time after time, I heard people share, like, I'm a third generation preacher. My dad was this. My dad planted these church. I grew up in the church. And there was this moment when I'm sitting here listening to all these great leaders. And I look back at my own life and I'm like, wow, I don't belong here. Like, I don't have the right background. I don't have the right pedigree. I don't have the right, I don't have those people. I haven't always done it right, so to speak. I wasn't raised in church. In fact, I didn't start going to church until after I graduated high school. So I felt this moment where I felt like I wasn't worthy. I didn't belong. But then I read a chapter like Joshua chapter 2. And in Joshua chapter 2, we begin to hear the story of Rahab, the prostitute, who, what we've got in Joshua is now we've got the Israelites are about to take the promised land. They're about to cross the Jordan. And so Joshua sends two spies in to check out the land, to see what's going on. And Rahab, the prostitute, takes them in and hides them and protects them because people in the land were like, hey, there's some spies here. So they were hunting for them. And Rahab protected them. Because of Rahab's obedience in the situation, God spared her life. And what happened in this situation is, think about this for a second. The Rahab, at that time, the prostitute, later on marries somebody who then has a kid. And then in this kid, think about the ancestry of Rahab. Well, she's the great grandmother of King David. So what does that mean? Yes, that in Matthew chapter 1, where it talks through the lineage of Jesus, you're going to see in there where Boaz, whose mother was Rahab. What I love about this story is that Rahab has a past. And I think a lot of people would look at her past and go, oh, goodness, oh. But what I noticed is because of her obedience and because she believed, because she understood who God was in those moments, and she was obedient to God, God saved her, God redeemed her, and God used her. What I know is that even though I don't have the pedigree as a lot of people out there, God has used me in ministry. And what I know is each one of us, as we begin to put one foot in front of the other and say, God, here I am, help me to know you more, that I know that God has a plan and a purpose for all of you, regardless of your background, regardless of the mistakes of your life, regardless of the choices you've made in your past, that God has a plan for you. God has a purpose for you. And if we'll just continue to follow Jesus every day of our life, we continue to find Jesus in every area of our life, I want you to know that as we believe and as we follow and as we obey, God will show us purpose. God will show us value. God will show us significance. And it's all because of what Jesus has done in our lives. So when you look back and you think, oh man, I'm not worthy, I don't have the background, I don't have the training, I want you to remember Joshua chapter 2, that here is someone who has a past, has a background. Rahab, she's known as Rahab the prostitute, whom God used to bring forth his purpose, whom God used later on, redeemed her life and put her in the lineage of Jesus. Now I'm telling you, if God can use Rahab, I promise he can use you just like he used me. God bless you and have a great day.